set that intention to have something, it's as clear as, and I'm going to give you an analogy because you can really feel this is a kinesthetic example. This is my favorite example of really setting your intention as a new person. When we go into a restaurant, you are excited about being in a restaurant, you're looking at what everyone's eating, and we basically, our job is to put our order into the waiter, right? And so we look at the menu, we decide what we want to have, and we put our order into the waiter. Now, when we put our order in with the waiter or the waitress, we don't immediately have an anxiety attack about whether or not the food is going to show up. Mm-hmm. We're not there questioning it. We're not running into the kitchen to see how they're preparing it. We know it's all thereafter. It's all this eager anticipation of what's to come, and that's how we are in so many areas of your life. And why can't we do that in business?
Right.
You know, if we could just have that energy in business. So you have your dreams, you have your intentions, you put your order in, you decide this is what we'd like to create, and then it's really that whole anticipation. We do a lot of meditation and activity around setting that tone, that vibration, but really it's about the anticipation and then to take inspired action. So one of the action steps that I recommend that people take is really look at what is it going to cost to achieve your dream, what kind of resources are we. So we do a lot with that with entrepreneurs, because most entrepreneurs don't know really how to fund their dreams.
Yes.
They say, do you dream, but nobody taught us how to fund our dream.
Well, they said the dream is free, but to pursue a dream, you have to have funds.
Well, it's you can attract them very easily. When I started, I've gone from 0 to 6 figures with like $97. Or I've raised millions of dollars for different projects. Whatever it takes, the resources are there. And I think it's once you accept that the resources are there. Remember, the money hasn't left the planet. So we know, and in fact, I raised more money in the last couple of years for different projects than I ever before. So I know the resources are there. So with that knowing that they're there, the next step is, okay, now let's go and get them. And so I support people in understanding what they need and to start attracting those resources. And the more confident you are in your business, the easier it is going to be to attract funding resources. I just want to take you back a little bit to a quick story. When I started my first business 20 years ago, I just went gung-ho into it. I thought being successful in the corporate world and be successful as an entrepreneur, and it wasn't quite like that. I didn't realize that the new business makes this big sucking noise, and so it needs to be fed. And I threw everything I had into it, which is what most entrepreneurs do, with savings and credit cards, little 401k, to the line of credit out of the house. I mean, everything.
Sounds familiar.
Everyone. I thought I was the only one, but everyone has a story.
Yes,
and it was completely over leveraged. It was very uncomfortable. I could have easily gone bankrupt at that point. I just wanted to succeed so badly, and I was very fortunate in that I focused on growing the business, and we sold it within a couple of years. I had someone who helped manage it and all that, so I had a whole team supporting me, but I owned the business, and so I was able to sell the business within about 2 years and at a profit, but I was devastated financially. I had to unravel all of that, and so I vowed never again to do that. Thereafter I learned, how do I fund my business? How do I get money? How can I be successful without sacrificing my own personal resources? And I use dozens of strategies, but one of the strategies that I use now is really building business credit. And that's the foundation that every entrepreneur needs.
That's one of the secret of the Passion to Prosperity Diva, the businesscreditspots.com. And you don't want to develop the mindset that most of us have, like I don't want to be in debt. But this is different. When you talk of business credits, it doesn't really mean to say that you're going to soak yourself in debt and do nothing with it. It is something that's going to fund your business. So you see, it's different from just having debt than funding a business.
It's not even about being in debt. It's about separating yourself. One of the things that are, I think, one of the most important activities this year for many entrepreneurs, because we've seen many people struggle in their business and sacrifice their own personal resources, financial resources, losing houses and other things to support their businesses. And what's really important to know is that your business is a separate entity. You have to physically separate those two. There's no reason for you to sacrifice your own personal resources for the sake of your business. So building business credit is basically leveraging your corporate status. So you have to be incorporated nonprofit, LLC, Rio C corporation. You have to be a corporate entity, but we take your tax ID number and we just leverage that and we build on that. And instead of just using your FICO score and your own personal credit. And so your business is a separate entity. So your business has Paydex score and you have a FICO score. So it's not even about getting in debt. It's just that you're creating that separation.
Total different entity.
Yeah.
And she's an expert in this one. She has been in the corporate world in 1996 or 1986 up to year 2000 and
look at you.
Yeah, 9 or whatever.
So
and you have actually mastered the craft of creating business for other people. That's why she decided to, like, if I can do this for other people, why can I do this for myself? And that was the motivation that she had, and she's sharing to you her personal experience. So when she discovered the businesscreditspots.com, now she is ready in full swing to help empower more of the entrepreneurs out there. That's why you are
This is a
encouraging
strategy.
investors.
Yeah, this is a strategy I learned years ago because after my first business, I couldn't believe. I said, why do we have to go bankrupt to be successful in business? Nobody Nobody taught us that. And so afterwards, I started just really doing more more due diligence and understanding, how to capitalize the business. So I came across business credit funding, the strategy, and I had to find out on my own. There wasn't a lot of resources out there. The strategies are fairly, people don't want to share this information very readily. And this is a lot of the secret strategies are just not readily available. And it took me several years to figure it out. But once you start tapping into the power of it and not just the access to funding, but let me just share with you. For instance, when you have like an 800 FICO score, in your personal finances, when you have the most perfect credit, what happens to you? Like the gates of heaven open up, right? So you have credit cards in the mail, and it's not just that. It's you have more credibility. You're able to negotiate better contracts and interest rates, and things happen to you. It elevates your standing with a lot of organizations. That's how they look at your financial integrity, and there's a lot of things that happen as a result of that. So once you learn to do that in your business, apart from you, then a lot of doors open. And so what I was finding is we were able to do real estate investing more effortlessly and make money we had resources to get into revenue very quickly because we didn't have to pay cash up front for building products and things like that. So many advantages to that. But it took years for me to discover. And so ultimately I said, this information needs to get out there. And so we formed businesscreditspot.com to not only show people how to do that, but all the funding resources are in the program. So
now she has unveiled a secret, a strategy. So that's what she is talking about, creating something from nothing. She doesn't believe that an opportunity will not happen or will not materialize. Something must happen, and it is you who's going to find it out. Now she is here. You have help. All you got to do is find her at her businesscreditspots.com, and that's going to take care of everything. In fact, after this interview, I think I must sit down with her because I need it.
If you go to businesscreditspot.com, there's a lot of free information. You can have an hour-long program where I actually take you. It's a 4-part process, and we show you how to connect with the credit bureaus and how to establish. You want to start building a credit profile in your business. So remember, you as an individual, you have your FICO score, you have your credit profile. As a business, your business has a Paydex score, and it has its own. We can build its own credit file instead of constantly commingling.
This is so generous of her. I have seen a lot of mentors, with due respect, offering this as a separate course when she's just offering it as a free course on her website. So you better check it out. Friends, it's businesscreditspots.com, and she'll be here. She'll be around. Maria Simone will always be here. She loved doing this. Actually, she moved to Southern California from Arizona last year, and I think she's making big waves here in California. And I love.
I had
the
to be
energy.
near the ocean
Yeah.
so I can make my
I love the energy, and she also has the, the Jesus Christ tree here that we're gonna show you later on how it looks like. That's created the magic and the miracle why she's in this place. So, and there's a story about that.